Welcome, gods and goddesses. I am Alpha Celestial, your Smite lore enthusiast for today. Now, things are certainly shaking up in Egypt. Neith promises Athena a suspect to her father's murderer, while Ares is sent after Anubis, sieging the Palace of the Sun, Ra's temple. At this point, I want to interject a little opinion on a figure, Hades. Now, in pop culture and even Greek myths, Hades has always had a plan, like little old Loki, old dog, same tricks kind of vibe, where the plan was to rule Asgard for Loki. Now, this was the whole grand scheme involving multiple gods, removing blame from Hades, so he could say, with plausible deniability, I didn't kill Zeus. Hades has a little bit more foresight to be predicting the emotions of the gods. However, he isn't that much of a genius. He only looks out for himself. In this telling of the gods, for Smite lore, Hades is more concerned with making people respect his ruling, claiming the throne while saying another god of the underworld has claimed his soul, but it isn't Anubis. Certainly some cryptic relay of information. This, however, will play in a later tale of Smite. As I was saying, Hades is more obsessed with power than actually seeing the power in diplomacy, and because of this, he was never meant to rule. And as we'll see soon, the balance of these powerful deities living amongst each other is as fragile as a spider web, barely hanging together. But it's the ones who understand that who will play a huge role in this series. Are you ready? The story's continuing. Gods and goddesses. This is Smite lore. We continue in the wilderness between Asgard and Olympia. Loki sits by himself. Staring towards a mortal village, he notices Hel walking up to him. You found me faster than I thought, Hel. You always were a busy bee. Hel stands across from him. In her light form, she places her hands on her hips. Let us make this brief, Father. Return what you have stolen. Give me the thunderbolt. Loki unleashes the bolt, flaunting his new prize. This? Oh, I was causing a little mayhem with it. What do you want it for? Hel, pious in her ways, responds, I would bring balance. Impressed is not Loki. Hardly an answer, though I do love an elaboration. Hel continues, Can you not see it, Father? The faithful dwindle. We gods have grown too plenty, too certain of our power. No god, regardless of Pantheon, courts enough faithful. We are weak, little better than mortals now. There must be a culling of the divine. There must be balance. Loki, goading Hel for more information. And you would what? Smite as many gods as you could before death. Hel charges back in anger. Always thinking of your next trick, never bigger. That is why no one fears you, Loki. No, that bolt has the power to break the chains binding Fenrir. Loki pauses. My son is a monster. The monster. Fenrir's freedom heralds Ragnarok. Why would you seek to destroy the world? Hel morphs herself between her forms. As I said, balance. Now give me the thunderbolt. She starts moving towards Loki, to which Loki returns with the thunderbolt as it cracks against her side. She lays upon the ground as Loki stands over her. Were you anyone but my own flesh and blood, I would cut you open and leave you to die. This day, your lineage bought you a pass. It won't happen again. Hel slinks across the ground as the residual energy from the bolt courses around her, struggling against the power. This plan has been in motion for years. I will not be foiled by your selfish whims. Loki places his foot on her and pushes her into the ground. I enjoy carnage as much as the next sociopath, but Ragnarok? That's just insane! He removes his foot from off of her and starts to walk away. Stop being so crazy, Hel. You make the rest of us look bad. We now move east to Ao Kuang's palace beneath the Jade Empire Sea. A dragon swims towards the palace. A servant greets Ao as he morphs into his humanoid form. We have maintained your palace to the exacting standards expected, though you have an uninvited guest. Sun Wukong awaits, my lord. As Ao Kuang walks into his throne room, Wukong is resting among the ceiling.
Ah, Lord Kuang. It's awfully rude to keep your guests waiting. You must have been somewhere pretty important. Convenient that you disappear the moment my cudgel goes missing. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Ao responds, You disrespect my home again with your buffoonery. Leave this instant. Wukong jumps off, lands on the ground.
Since you got some to spare, maybe I'll just help myself to another of these pillars before I go then.
No, leave!
All right, I'm going. But I'm watching you, Ao Kuang.
Ao lets out a sigh of relief as the monkey god leaves. He turns to find Hel now appearing in his throne room, holding the legendary cudgel of Sun Wukong. Yeah, how did you gain entrance? She responds, The underworld touches all places. Every shadow is my doorway. Ao takes a minute to look over Hel. My lady Hel, you look terrible. What happened to you? Hel responds, Your assistance is required once more. Loki must be dealt with. The dragon god turns around at the goddess's plea. And yet, I have not received payment for my previous efforts. Zeus was not an easy prey. Hel counteroffers, Aid me against Loki, and the cudgel will be yours, as promised. He deflects. That is not what we agreed upon. Hel holds the cudgel, ready to strike. Do not mistake kindness for weakness, Ao Kuang. This new agreement is the only one I will honor. Ao shifts into his dragon form. Hana, you do not know the meaning of the word! He surrounds the pillar around Hel to intimidate and flaunt his size to her. Give me the cudgel! Give me the Rui Zhangyu Bang! Hel readies herself against the massive dragon. You want it? She grits through her teeth. Then you shall have it. She then slams Sun Wukong's staff into the pillars, smashing the supports of his palace. The palace starts to crumble and falls on its own weight. Sun Wukong notices the palace falling as he swims up towards the shore. He sees it smashing against the seafloor. He turns around to see where the palace was once standing. He sees Ao's hand sticking up out of the debris. He grabs the god and brings him up to the surface, gasping for breath. Ao Kuang notices his savior. No, he mutters. Not you. Wukong takes Ao onto dry land.
Ao Kuang, what happened? Tell me.
Ao Kuang struggles to recover.
Hel. It was Hel. She took the ray. I helped her slay Zeus for the...
He starts to worsen, looking upon Wukong as the monkey god kneels next to him.
Why did it have to be you?
And with that, lets his last breath and dies. My God. You would think gods would be hardy enough to survive a few buildings on top of them. But I guess you have to have drama and depth somewhere. Hell of a place to leave, if you ask me. But I wanted to take this moment to go over the reading. For one, every time I read this part of Loki, I always find myself glad, that Loki's chaos is not genocidal or world-ending omens. He likes messing with people. Gods, maybe a murder here and there, but what's death to a god in this universe? It's the reason we have respawn timers in Smite, right? But seriously, death is a really good topic in Smite, and we will cover it in a later episode when we get to it. The lore explains it all really well. So, once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to comment and tell me what you think of Hel, whether or not she's crazy or not, let me know. I, once again, am Alpha Celestial, your Smite lore enthusiast for today. Now go. Go play God.